What's up, Night Vision Gang? We're back with another video. Today, we're going to talk about 3 things Alabama football has to do in 2026 to get back on top of college football. We're going to get straight into it. Number one, I think Alabama has to establish a running game going forward. When Ryan Grubb was in Seattle, he got let go because they said he wouldn't commit to running the football. Well, when you have a guy like Xavier E.J. Crowd, a highly touted 5-star true freshman, he's a guy, he's not coming there to pass block every play. You had to get that guy the ball, and you had to show him why he chose to reclassify and join the Tide. He reclassified and was still a 5-star recruit. That tells you all you need to know about him. You got a guy like Daniel Hill, who at times showed spurts of when he gets downhill, he can be a pretty good back. He can be a pretty good option in the passing game as well. You just have to see a little more out of him. And it wouldn't hurt for a guy like A.K. Deere to take another step, or Kevin Riley to take another step. But that running game has to get going because you don't want Keelan Russell or Austin Mack to come in and throw the ball 35 times a game, not in their first year starting. You want to ease them in, run the ball, and make them comfortable. You don't want them back there dropping back every play. You want them with a nice running game. You don't want defensive coordinators thinking, we can just drop everybody back because they don't have any running game. At times, maybe we have to load the box here. Maybe we had to put our safeties back so you can have a balanced attack. If they know you passing every time, that makes the pass rushers, and that puts a lot of pressure on your tackles because the pass rushers are going to say, we're from the pass rush. We're finna go feast. And that can help your tackles out. You lose a guy like Wilcom Forensby to the transfer portal. You lose a guy like Caden Proctor, and that ties into our second one. Like, Alabama has to get better at the line of scrimmage, it feels like, going forward. You lose a guy like Tim Keenan, L.T. Overton to the draft. It was too many times I felt like when Tim Keenan would come out, it felt like Alabama was just getting pushed around up front, especially in the middle. Alabama has to solve that problem up front and be more physical. You never had to question Nick Saban teams with guys like Marcel Darius, Quentin Williams, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen. You never had to question Nick Saban teams when they had guys like Dallas Turner, Will Anderson on the edge rushing the passer. They never took plays off. I don't want to say the talent isn't there at Alabama. Maybe it's an effort thing. I don't know. But they lose guys like James Smith, Keon Keeley, what's the other guy named Quay Russaw. You lose guys like that to the transfer portal. It might not be a major hit, but you want to see the physicality come back to Alabama because growing up, you knew a Nick Saban team, they were going to get after the passer. They were going to rush the passer. They were going to play hard every play, and they were never going to get pushed around. So I would say that's number two. Number three, Ryan Williams has to be the guy we thought he was going to be after his freshman year. After his freshman year, we all said this guy's going to be a top 10 draft pick. He's going to be a first-round pick. He cannot have another year where if he plays in 14 games or Alabama has 14 games, he can't have 600 yards. Next year going forward, he has to be the alpha in that offense. He has to have at least 1,200 yards. He has to be the Ryan Williams we know he can be. I still think Ryan Williams is an uber talented. He's a guy, when he has the ball in his hands, he can do special things after the catch. He's good at getting open. Only problem is his catching. He tries to catch the ball with his chest sometimes, and that maybe hurts him. He's not catching the ball with his hands. But I just feel like I still think he's really talented. You bring in the guy from Rutgers, Rogers. You have Brooks, Latier Brooks. If Ryan Williams can be that number one in the room and be what we think he can be very special in this offense. So I'm not saying Kalen DeBoer has to be Nick Saban by any means, but I do feel like he has to show physicality up front on both lines of scrimmage, offensive line, defensive line. I think you have to run the ball. I don't think you can drop back and throw it all around the yard in the SEC. I don't think it's going to work. Not with the athletes that are in the SEC. Now, the Pac-12, you can get away with that. But I just feel like with the pass rusher and the DBs that are in the SEC, you're bound to turn the ball over 2 to 3 times a game. Another thing is we have to remember when Justice Haynes was at Alabama, it felt like he was an average running back. He leaves, he goes to Michigan. All of a sudden, he's in the Heisman race before he gets hurt. So I feel like if E.J. Crowd or Daniels or Deere, like if we don't have one of them guys emerge in the running back room, we had to ask some questions about this staff regarding the running game. Alabama fans, we're going to get you more content throughout the off season. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys, and we're out.